Good to see you guys. Had a long couple days off, just trying to get our guys ready for the game Saturday. It's been a unique week, just that we didn't play, so it's our first bye week. Um, the game Saturday it'll be a different game. It'll be a team coming in here for San Jose is really hungry. Haven't won a Mountain West game, so our biggest thing is just to get ready and continue to improve our team and finish the halfway point 6-3 if we can. We're 5-3 now. So our goal is to try to improve and play our game. So we'll try to impose our will on them and see how they handle that. But I'm sure they're going to come in here and try to get their first win. So it's a unique thing. We practiced Tuesday, and then we took yesterday off, and then we were off Sunday and Monday. So we'll practice today and tomorrow and get ready for Saturday. So it'll be interesting the next couple days to make sure our guys are focused on the task at hand.
What kind of player is Muhammad?
He's an okay player. I think he's a high volume shots for points. You just have to know where he is all the time. But they got a couple. The Williams kid's the one that hurt us last year, so he's back. Not shooting near as well as he did last year, but that's part of it. They've had some struggles, but he's a good player. But he's a high volume shots for point production guy.
Is there ever any concern, like how they've been playing, and like you said, they're looking for their first conference win, but you guys, if they pay too much attention to what has happened before this, you think that?
No, I think we'll go over personnel tonight, which they only have 8 players, and they've had their issues, and that's you got to respect their coach for making a stand, and that's part of it, and that's none of my business. So we'll just go through personnel tonight, and then we'll cover some things with film, and I think our guys know the importance that we've got to keep improving. So there won't be a lot of talk about how their season's been, how they've played, or what they've done against other teams. It's just we got to take care of what we do.
Coach, what's the painful experience like, and then moving forward, what's the carryover of a painful experience looking forward to your next game?
What painful experience are you talking about?
Wyoming.
Why? Because we lost? Yeah, we lost a game. I don't know if it's painful. We're going to go forward. We're not going to look back. We lost a game. We lose together. We win together. So I haven't thought one minute about it for the last 2 days.
You talk frequently about how appreciative and you are of this program, the fan base,
Right.
what's already been here. You and Doug come into the league at the same time, and without getting into specifically the struggles they've had, does it give you some perspective on even more appreciative of what you have going here as compared to what kind of they're going through over 2 years there?
Well, it gives me a great appreciation for every building I go to. Every city I go in, every place we play, it gives me a great appreciation for my job. He's had, I don't know the situation over there, but we came at the same time. He was a really good assistant at Boise, and they just had hard times. But I'm taking over. I've said it 1,000 times. Our biggest thing is that I took over a program that was pretty established that we established 8 years ago, and he took over a mess. There's a little different, there's a big difference in what he had to take over and what I took over.
And the reality of what they're going through means you guys, I know you don't like talking archive, but I'll ask the question. It doesn't matter what you guys do Saturday. You guys can win by 50, you guys can win by 1. You guys are going to drop in the RPI just by playing them. How much does that hurt the league?
Well, it hurts, but I don't know what you can do about it. It's I only control the things that I have control over. I don't have any control over that. So they're on our schedule, and that's part of it. And we've got definitely our league's got to improve, and I think we got really good teams. I just think our RPI doesn't show it.
The bye week, you guys were one of 2 teams that didn't get it until this point in the season. You guys are the second to last. Air Force will actually go through 10 games before they get their bye slot in the schedule. Did you like getting through that many games, through 8 games before you had a slot off, or come at a good time?
It's different, Jeff. I think it just depends on how your team is, what your team's going through. I think it came as a good time for us, just the sense that we needed a break with having so many guys that have not been through it before. I think our guys have now experienced 7 or 8 games, and now they're going to experience their 9th game. I'd much rather have it now than some teams are going to go 10. There's a team that's going to go 10 straight games without a break, and that's not going to be easy, especially the way the conference is. It's kind of been evened out, and anybody can win on any given night.
From a health perspective, one guy that was hurt at halftime last time, Jordan, and anybody else health-wise that you can update?
Jordan, he's good. He's practiced Tuesday. It's going to be game to game. His ankles, he's got a spur, and I'm not a doctor, so I just know it flares up, and he's got a lot of pain, and so it's game to game. So it could be, he could show up after warm-ups on Saturday and can't go, or he could show up after warm-ups and be able to play. So it's all injury-based.
Coach, when we were at the airport, I was going to ask you about the conference race. It just seems like anything can happen, and just like even when you guys got back, a lot has changed even since that day. How many losses do you think?
Well, I don't know that, Van. I mean, we always try to speculate. Everybody thinks they have a crystal ball, but I don't know what it'll take. Last year, if you'd have told me 15-3 wouldn't win the league, I'd told you you're crazy. But I thought 5 or 4 wins or 4 losses or 5 losses last year would have won the league, but it didn't. So I don't know. I'd have to look at. I'm not looking at everybody's schedule, but I know some teams have some tough road games coming up, and I don't think anybody's going to skate through with just 2 losses like they did last year.
And what's that even, you think, as far as because it's so log jam like that?
Well, I think it's log jam because of scheduling. I mean, if you look at who's played who and who hasn't played who, I think it's log jam because of that. I think you'll get a clearer picture of what's going on with the landscape of our conference after this week, especially after Saturday.
With the freshmen and first-year guys, as a coach, what are some of the things that you expect from them at this point in the season, also you have to deal with?
Well, I don't expect them to forget plays. If that makes – this point in time, which that's a good question because we have that. And I don't expect them to have mental breakdowns. I don't expect them to forget plays. I don't expect them to forget how we guard things. I don't expect that. You're going to have turnovers. You're going to have missed shots. You can expect that from anybody. I just don't at this point in time. And then I talked to them Tuesday. I just said I don't expect mental breakdowns like you had when you were, first got here because they've been through it. I mean, they've played enough games. They've been through enough practices. They can't have mental breakdowns. And that's the hard thing with young players. But, it's like I told them, they're not freshmen anymore. They're halfway through their freshman year, and they've been through road games, and they know what it's about. And to their credit, our new guys and our freshmen have probably been through the hardest road schedule that we've already been at Wyoming, at San Diego State, at UNLV, at Utah State. So those guys have really faced a really, really hard on the road schedule to this date.
Coach, you kind of alluded to this already, but how do you make sure that they don't look past this team even though they're at the bottom of the conference?
Well, I don't. That's a good. I don't think they can look past anybody. I think we've let one get away. We lost a home game. I think our guys realize that they're in the hunt, but to be in the hunt, they can't be pretenders. They got to be contenders, and they got to figure that out. And I think they have. I think they understand what the scope of the league race is. I think they got Hugh in there telling them and explaining to them, and it's just like I told them after the game. I said, guys, you can't let games go like Wyoming because, you got to finish in the top 4. You got to try to finish in the top 4 because this tournament with with San Jose out of the tournament, it's a whole different landscape than it has been in the past. So, I don't think the new guys understand that. They do now, but I think our senior and I think Hughes explained it, but I think they've got to go into every game just trying to get better and trying to get ready down the road and just keep winning games. I think we'll do well. I think we'll compete well. But we've got some tough games left to go, and we got some tough home games.
Does it give you confidence, Coach, that you're in every game? I mean, they're all competitive, and
Right.
but you're in every game with a young club.
Yeah, Lee, that's a good. Yeah, we have been in every game. We've been in every game till the last 4 or 5 minutes. And the games that we've lost, we haven't finished. And it's a confidence boost for them, I think, and I think we're getting better at finishing. I think we just had the basketball gods got us on our last one, and we'll regroup from that. But I go into every game thinking that we're going to win. I think we're really competitive. I don't think any team in our conference is head and shoulders above us, and I don't know if I felt that way going into the season, Lee, to be honest with you. But I really like my team. I like my kids, and they play hard. And that's all I've asked them to do. Now, we're not going to be perfect, and it's kind of like the movie out of the De La Salle coach where it's not, you're not going to be perfect. You just want perfect effort. And so it's one of those things that we've tried to work on, and we've always done that here. We've always been able to guard. We've always played hard. And I think they're learning, and I thought we've played better offensively the last 2 games.
On the recruiting trail, are there any special needs that you wanted to take care of and help with?
No, I have to see the guys that we have coming, and then I've got to find guys for the future. And I'm always trying to go way ahead of the I'm trying to get ahead of the pack and try to do things outside the box and try to get the program where it wants to be and where I want it to go, and that's why I go out so much.
One more on the standings and all that. Do you find yourself watching more, or maybe having your staff watch results a little bit more with 7 teams within a game as opposed to last year when it was a 2-team race? Do you kind of watch the rest of the league a little bit more than you used to?
I don't know. When did it become a 2-team race last year?
Probably about game 9 or so. Nevada was still a 7-2 at the midway point, so they were still.
Well, it could become a 2-team race in 3 or 4 games. So we watch them, Jeff, but we don't. I mean, I keep it. If you've come in my man room, I call it the man room. It's where we watch film, and it's kind of where we kind of hide so nobody can get us. We keep a schedule, and so it's the rankings and the standings and who they play, and we look at that. But I mean, it's not like I'm sitting there going, well, if they lose it here and I mean.
Is it any different than last year, though? Do you find yourself maybe looking a little more or curious?
The only difference is anybody can win it. That's the only difference. I think last year we kind of knew that we were head and shoulders above some teams. I don't feel that way this year. I think a lot of teams are good. I think a lot of teams can play at a high level. And I think our guys have played at a high level. I think I've got as much out of any team that I thought I could as this year's team.
All right, and I've asked you just for the sake of asking the question, can you guys still win the league?
Yeah, you always want to think you can win the league. We're 1 game back. I mean, you look at stats, and you're like me because you know how much I don't like to talk about, but I watch game after game after game after game, and I look at stats. But, I mean, if you look at it, we had the hardest schedule. And if you would have told me, it's just like, you're 6-3. Yeah, you want to be better, but I think that it's pretty good. And, we won some road games that we haven't been able to win in the past. We've been very forced to win 2 times at Utah State. I mean, how often does that happen? That doesn't happen for a program very often. You go in there and win twice. And we won at UNLV, which if you look at the history of our program, we've not done very well during the regular season at UNLV. I think we've won twice or 3 times in 8 years. So now we've done well in the Mountain West tournament, but we've won 2 games, and then we really had a really good chance, and we're in the game at Wyoming, and we've had good success there. So if we can win road games and win some road games down the stretch, we'll have a chance. I think. I don't know that.
Because of the parity, does it matter what? I mean, you want to be in the top 4, but does it matter what seed you are when you do this?
No, I don't. I think I think how it sets up, you're going to have bye games, right, with the new scheduling? I think there's – yeah, you just don't want to get where you have to play. You want byes. So you want to finish in – we always want to finish in the top 1 or 2 or 3 – but, I mean, once you get there, you're playing for the whole ball of wax.
Coach, speaking of stats, you guys have went 18 of 20 from the foul line in the last 2 games.
Right.
Can you talk about you guys improving in that area?
I think we're just coaching them up on the foul line. I mean, we just got these new techniques. No, to be honest with you, I think it's just I think it's repetition. We do a lot of it. I think guys are more comfortable. And to be honest, we're getting guys to the line that we want to get to the line. And then I think our guys are improving. But they've done a really nice job shooting free throws. And I think they've done a really nice job going into the games, knowing what we want to do offensively, and taking the shots that can be productive. And I think that's really helped us.
How crucial, Craig, are these next 3, considering you've already beaten Cal State and Air Force? This could really kind of propel you as you.
Well, I think if you can win Saturday's game and you're 6-3 at the break, and there's going to be some movement on Saturday with teams that lose, and then you can go on the road and win another one, then come back home, I think it's a big deal. But it's one game at a time, and our guys got to really, really be focused in on Saturday because they're going to come in trying to win their first one, and they're going to play hard, and our guys got to come into the game saying, all right, are we going to get better or are we not going to get better? And that's what they got to do. If my guys will continue to get better and keep working and playing as hard as they do and guarding the way they can, then we'll have a chance. But the next one, it's always the next one's important. But we got a pretty good stretch coming up. Appreciate it, y'all.
Coach, I just wanted to ask one thing, and no one mentioned about San Jose State. We only play them once. Do you feel more comfortable now that the parity is so close between all the teams that now you don't feel it's bad not having to play? Because everybody liked to play San Jose twice if they could.
Yeah, but that's what the hard thing is. I mean, you could say that, we're very unfortunate that we don't play Nevada or San Jose twice, but that's the way it is, and there's nothing you can do about it, and that happens. I mean, last year we got Fresno, and I can't remember who else we had last year, Air Force. So it's different. The bottom line is, I don't know if we're never going to get San Diego State once, and we're never going to get UNLV once. So that's just the way it's going to be.
Okay.